Hello? Hello? Okay. Okay. Just checking a couple things. Alright, we should be good to go. Let's just get this done. Let's get some work done today. Alright. So here we go. Let's spend some time to just write some information down and plan. I think that's a good idea. Because now we're jumping into AI and we need to do some planning. Here we go. Let's get some planning done. So, what is our monster? Well, whoa. Well, the goal of our monster is to kill the player, right? We also need to understand as what is the gameplay perspective. What makes our monster scary? Its ability to trick the player into thinking it's coming after them, and getting really close at specific points in time. So that's what we want. We want our monster. What makes our monster actually scary? It's not that it's I want the AI to be good, you know? So it needs to be able to, you know, kind of scare the player. And the way I want that to happen, which is what happened in my dream, is that it basically tricks you into thinking it knows where you're at. So it will, for example, go into the same room you're in, but it won't find you unless you like mess up. So, example, would be going into the room where the player is hiding if they don't move for a specific amount of time, and then start searching. Another example would be walking past the player, walking into the player, player is roaming. Oh, that's not how you spell roaming. Roaming. But will engage in a chase. So the idea here is that when the player roams, because we have to do something to make sure that you can't just hide in one room, and the way I'm going to do that is if you hide for a certain amount of time, you cough, and then they will go to alerted to like the cough or something. How about this? Let's do some playing. That's always important. Just gotta do something real quick. Remove. Move. Oh my god, what is all this? Please get out of here. What the? There we go. Here we go. So, let's do like, what is our gameplay loop? So, bare bones explanation would be player survive for a specific amount of time, escaping a monster that is chasing you throughout a map. And monster having scary AI which tricks the player. That is the bare bones explanation. Is survive for a certain amount of time, 12 to 6. What's our setting? Make this a heading. Can you do that? Oh, no, that's not a big deal. What is our setting? Well, cabin or facility in a snowy forest. we bare bones like explanation facility in a snowy tundra. We don't. Let me do dots. We don't have to worry about seeing much of the outside, but we want to portray that atmosphere from within the building. The facility is run down. Facility is boarded up, and you are locked inside. That's kind of the thing we want there. Facility is based off probably like an insane asylum. If I could spell it right. Whatever, bro. So that's kind of like the vibe we want inside the facility, is like an insane asylum. Tundra outside, the facility's run down inside, and it's all boarded up. Boarded up, and you're locked inside it. That's kind of the vibe we want from our setting. Now, we can look at our player. So, our player, let's make this. How are we going to make it so the player cannot just hide in a room the whole time? What makes the game interesting? What makes the game interesting? Player will continue main idea. The player Ooh, you know what? That's a good idea. Player can... we could do that and have it hide from the monster. And we can add it so that there's items they have to find. That was loud, sorry. There's items they have to find to actually escape the night. So they can either wait it out or find all the items. 2 endings. How will the player beat the game? Well, so ending 1, survive a whole night, and then once it turns 6 a.m. a door will open where you can go and escape from the facility. So maybe idea here, we are locked in. Alright. Ending 2, you find the key parts and then craft it into the key card, or the key card. Then you are able to go to the door and escape. So, I have an interesting idea. So, locked inside. Where? There you go. I think this stream we should just plan out. Day 5 will be a planned day. So far what we have is we have gameplay loop. How will the player beat the game? 2 endings. What makes our game interesting? Yeah, it's this stuff. Also, environmental hazards. Oh my god, how do I not spell? We'll switch up the gameplay and make it more challenging for the player to survive and escape. Then, so we don't really need to work on a setting yet. Just think about how will we spawn key cards, and door without allowing the player to memorize the position. So here's ideas. Okay, so we could do have solution one. Let's just do solutions. So obviously we know we need to randomize the spawns. How will we do that? Well, we could do wave function. Okay, so what we need to do now is how are we gonna implement it so that these key card parts in the door spawn randomly? Because now I want it to be so that you can add key cards, so you can craft it, and then you can escape through that instead of just you could either wait through the whole night or escape through that. So I think that will switch up the gameplay and make it more interesting, and it offers two ways of completing the game. You can either try to hide, or you can try to find all the key parts. So we need to memorize. So we need to store where rooms could possibly be. We could have it so in the map file, we have possible key part spawns. And from there, we will pick them at random. We'll pick them at random. So like what we could have is every room in the map has a chance of spawning 3 key card. Spawning one of the 3 key card parts. And then we just pick from, and then we'll add a bunch of rooms, and then it'll be random every time. So that'll be good. And then the pros would be no need for wave function collapse. And, I don't know how to spell that. Tell me. Because there will be many rooms, which will make it challenging, which will provide enough possible spawn points for the parts. I would say cons would be possible to may become too easy to search rooms. Search. Oh my god. Rooms one by one, and it will result in players running from room to room and not trying to get the card. Or wait, will result in not trying to survive the whole night. So we want them to do both. So we don't want it to be, and this is the main part right here. And then that's the main part. But I don't think it will. Another solution we could do is, oh, and also we need to add a lot of rooms so that there is enough variation. Oh, I don't know. There we go. We have to add a lot of rooms. But our map should be pretty big anyways, so that might not be a problem. One second. Okay. So that's cool, and then we could do wave I'm just gonna call it FC. Wave function collapse. There you go. Collapse. Basically, give the algorithm a bunch of random rooms and things to select from, and some may have key spawns and others may not. So pros would be random generated maps, which will keep the gameplay super interesting. Cons may be very difficult to ensure correct generation. See, I really like this idea. And because random generated maps will keep the gameplay super interesting, and what the algorithm will do, and a quick rundown is, I really like that idea. So rundown would be let's do it right here. How will it work? Well, have the algorithm have FWC pick from random rooms that are pre-made. Then combine all the rooms together with a given size. Then once FFC has picked the rooms and the order they are in, we will read the numbers and then load up those hard coded rooms and then generate it to the map. See, we can do that. and then this will be probably very time consuming. So this might be a maybe for future, maybe in the future. So that's how it'll work. You get the correct generation, no assurance, chance that AI will break entirely. Yeah, so this is gonna be, it's gonna be all, it's all up to how that algorithm, how it's coded. So this is a big con. Super interesting. Never, it's just that's like, so I think this is our best solution. Yeah. This is our best solution, but I may add a feature where you can use wave function clouds to automatically generate a map, or you can pick from already coded maps or pre-made maps. Okay. Now let's break down what is the keycard. What is the keycard? Well, the key card will be split into three individual pieces that are spread around the map at random. The player will have to explore, find the three pieces, and then craft the card at a craft station. Once the player has crafted card, they will be able to open the door early and not have to wait until 6 a.m. Not have to wait the whole night. Why should pros and cons. Pros offers a different style of gameplay than just sitting around and waiting for the night to end. Maybe gives the player something else to think about other than just the AI or the monster. Provides a new challenge for the game and offers different playstyles. Cons. May become meta, but this isn't. But this there you go. So it may become meta, but I mean, if it becomes meta, it's all up to the player. So I mean, whatever. Do not suffer from scope creep, buddy. I'd be very upset if I do. Right now, we have everything basic in. So the key card is something split into 3 individual pieces spread around a map. Random, the player will have to explore to find the 3 pieces and then craft the card at a station. Once the player has crafted the card, they will be able to open the door early and not have to wait the whole night. What are other cons? Maybe too difficult, and we'll have to adapt the AI. I think that's a good rundown of what the key card is. Okay. So let's talk about the door. Let's go to a new page. What is the door? Well, the door is where once the key card is crafted, or once it hits 6 a.m. the player will have to make it over to the door in order to escape and beat the game. Forces the So, the pros of this will force the player to actually explore and cause and make them develop a strategy. Cons probably would be like maybe I don't know. Cons will just stay there. I don't know any cons of it yet. Or well, if we do not randomize. Oh wait. Oh. Leave that there. How will we implement? Well, right. Well, what we'll do, have random door spawn locations on the map create section, and then we will pick one of those random locations to decide to mix up where the door will go. This will this will make it so that the player cannot just memorize door spawn and can't. It will force the player to go out and explore. It's a good idea. Okay, so yeah, okay. You're getting banned. You're getting banned. banned. No, you're banned. Okay. So those are the main gameplay loops. This is how the player will actually beat the game with the door and then the key card and then alright, now we can think about what is our player, what is our monster. Those are the big 4 things that we need to focus on. The gameplay loop, the setting, and then the player and the monster. You're excited to be banned. I'm gonna ban you. You're getting banned. So the player sometimes you gotta cut off you gotta cut ties sometimes. You're getting banned. So our player, I don't know. There's no basic bonus explanation. So what are our player character like? What do we need from our player? Well, we need. What is our player? Well, basically, oh my god. Oh crap. No, whatever. I can't even spell explanation now. Explanation. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. It's okay. Sometimes you gotta cut out, like, it's, you know, sometimes it's not by choice. So what is our player? The player be Hey, no beefing. Hey, no beefing. Alright, you're getting banned. No, that's disrespectful. I'm only 35. I don't take disrespect in my chat. Alright, so our player will just be able to hide from the monster, character, whatever. I don't even really. Characteristics, if I could spell. I can't even spell it. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Oh, thanks. Able to hide from the monster. able to hide, and then by this we mean hide in lockers, like hide in lockers, hide in behind doors, hide like under beds. The player will need hazards. By hazards, I mean debuffs that can occur when playing, such as slower move speed, louder coughs, gameplay explanation. Basically, the player will cough every once in a while, maybe forced. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that there because I keep thinking about ideas of how I should actually explain it, but then I forget. So it has hazards, able to hide from the monster. Like we need. Yeah, so I mean that's really it. The player's not that complex. We do need good movement. Focus points. Good movement. And yeah, good movement. That's the key. So that's like the focus points. Alright, so we have our gameplay loop. Now we need. Oh, geez. Oh, no. Here. I'm taking away your chat privileges. You're gonna be banned. Sorry, there's no choice. You gotta be banned. You're banned. I can't have this. So let's do some research. What makes a good AI? Oh, Jesus. Okay. How to make AI characters. AI design patterns for video games. What is this?
Hi everybody, Matthew Gusdale here for the very last of these Game AI of the University of Alberta class lectures. Today we'll be talking about AI-based game design. So as a reminder, see what year you thought it was, how long ago you thought this was from. Let me read it out loud. Significantly, developers overall reported that AI was becoming a more important factor in game design than it had been in the past, often being assigned an equal priority with graphics and sound in the initial game design and allocation of resources. When do you with human game designers? No.
Okay.
So
what does this mean? I just want to look at design pattern.
Making games all by themselves. Okay, well, does it mean initiative is the interaction with an AI system or system?
That's not what I need. No, okay. AI design patterns for monsters, for enemies. What about that? Don't dox me. Only 9 months, so it's pretty recent. Make something that follows the player and can do something about it. An enemy is just a distinct hurdle that the player can come over, whatever, yeah. Wait, should I use a state machine? Indicate that the attack, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm gonna put and researching so I sound smarter. Yeah. Did I spell that right? I think I did. I hope I did. Oh. I don't think I spelled that right. Oh, what? How do I spell it? I spelled it right. I'm super paranoid. Wait, I need to check something. Okay, so I kind of want like this. Oops. Crap. Are you serious? Cringe found bro. I need to get ad blocker. Theater mode.
About good AI, they invariably come back to the same three examples. I'm talking about the replica soldiers in the original Fear, the various aliens in the Halo series, and the Marines in the first Half-Life game. And yes, these games do have some really clever behaviors, and Halo 2 and Fear actually pioneered some new AI technologies that are still being used in games today. But one other thing these games have in common is that they all feature particularly aggressive enemies who actively try to hunt down and kill the player, and also have a lot of health points
Don't
so
be
they can stick around them.
confused.
And this is something that makes these enemies feel a lot smarter. But don't take my word for it, this is something that Bungie knew all the way back in the first Halo game. During development, it set up a playtest with 2 versions of the game, with the exact same enemy AI on both. But on one machine, the aliens didn't do much damage and died quickly, and on the other, they did more damage and had more hit points. The number of players who thought the enemies were very intelligent jumped from 8% to 43% when playing against more resilient enemies. But the thing is, aggressive enemies just don't work for every type of game. This is something that id Software found out during the development of Doom 2016. It started with enemies that would chase you down, but this made players act defensively. We'd end up in these situations where you would instantly start backing up, said director Marty Stratton. Instead, the studio good AI lets the player cheat. Just not in ways that the player will actually notice, like how you can put a bucket on a shopkeeper's head in Skyrim and rob them blind. So hopefully in more subtle ways, like how in the Uncharted games, when you pop out of cover, enemies will start with a 0% chance to hit Drake, giving you a chance to take a few shots. In the Far Cry games, only a few enemies will be allowed to shoot at you at once to improve your odds of winning the fight. And in the Arkham games, enemies are told not to turn around during the Predator sections so Batman can sneak up behind his prey. These are things that the player should never really notice, but you would definitely feel their absence if they weren't there. It's all about making the game feel more fair, even if most games are actually biased wildly in the player's favour. Good AI tells you what it's thinking. This is most often done through short vocal clips, known as barks.
Okay. You're getting banned, bro. I already told you. You're getting banned. I can't have any tomfoolery around here. Go. And then visually cues what it. Alright, that was probably racist, so I'm banning you.
Where patrolling guards say things like,
Sounds like someone's over there.
and but this can also be expressed through animation and body language, or with more gamey elements like vision cones, light and noise sensors, and those ghostly images that show you where the enemy last saw you. I will talk about how much of this stuff you want to surface to the player, and how much you want to keep a bit fuzzy when I talk about stealth games in a future video. A different way to achieve this is to give AI characters distinct personality.
You're getting banned, bro. You're inappropriate. I'm only 35.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
or the different
Yeah,
leaders
delete
in
that
Civilization's
message. You
single
know.
player modes who all have their own
That's
unique
right.
quirks. Developers have actually found that this stuff makes AI characters seem smarter to players. Because if an AI has complex decision-making and perception skills, like being able to notice that a door along their patrol path has been opened, the player may never know that the guard is capable of such a thought if they don't open their mouth and say, but this is also critical feedback that the player can use to understand what the AI is doing or is about to do and can plan accordingly. Which
Oh,
brings me
that
on to
message
this
is
next
held
one.
for review. You can't say that.
Good
so you're
AI
getting banned.
is predictable, which sounds odd, but hear me out. In 2004, Halo tech lead Chris Butcher said, the
I'm
goal
not
is
even in
not to
college,
create something
buddy.
that is unpredictable. What you want is an artificial intelligence that is consistent so that the player can do things and expect the AI will react in a certain way. This allows you to
Still
play a
in,
game with
I
intentionality,
graduated
which Far
from
Cry
high
2 designer
school
Flint Hocking
15
defined
years
as
ago.
the ability for the player to devise his own meaningful goals through his understanding of the game dynamics. To break that down a bit, when you play a game, you start to build up an understanding of how different things work. Like, you shoot a red barrel, it explodes, and now, going forward, you know that every time you see a red barrel, you can shoot it to create an explosion and can use this to your advantage. But this applies to AI behavior too. If guards always return dropped guns to crates, and turning off a generator will
I don't really need that complex AI, but I'll keep it. It's basically gonna trick the player
make an enemy
and
come-
chase him around and scare him and be
check it
scary.
out. You can then use this information to create
That's like
plans,
the whole
either-
gist of like the game. It's like you think, because like when you think that the AI is gonna, like the monster's gonna find you and he doesn't. Like I want the monster to play tricks onto the player and make it difficult for them to survive.
versions, and traps. Without predictable behavior, the player can't create satisfying plans. Halo Man Butcher gave the example of sneaking up behind a grunt and the grunt running away. It would be bad if they only ran away half of the time, because then the player can build a plan that will only work half of the time. Instead, Bungie went for predictable actions, but unpredictable consequences. The grunt will always run away, said Butcher, but you don't necessarily know where he'll run away to.
You're welcome.
So predictability certainly doesn't mean easy for game systems. This is like how an enemy in Breath of the Wild doesn't just walk up to Link and start wailing on him, but will run off and pick up dropped weapons, set their wooden clubs alight, kick away bombs, and even throw their fellow monsters at you.
Whoa,
Oh,
instant
that's gonna hurt.
replay.
Again, this has the added
That's
benefit
so
of making
cool.
an AI character seem smart. An enemy in Bioshock who runs to a health dispenser
See
midway
how
through a
cool
fight
that was? That
looks
was
like he is
so
aware of his
cool.
surroundings, is interested in self-preservation, and feels like he has similar abilities to the player. But it also means you can screw them over by putting a trap on the health dispenser. By exposing an AI to the game systems, we can provide loads of interesting ways to deal with foes in a more roundabout fashion, like making an enemy fight for you in prey, or tricking an enemy into attacking a cuckoo, so this
So like, my end goal is just to do a bunch of planning. Like I'm not gonna do any coding this stream. I just need it because I need a plan, because now I've got to the point where I've completed enough of the basic stuff that without like the plan and like everything, the foundation. And now it's actually time to start understanding what this game is going to become, because I had it in my mind. I have it in my mind, the rough idea, but now I need to actually set in stone what is going to happen, because I'm getting to the point where I need to actually program the main part of the game and the gameplay loop and what the game is actually going to become. You know, because all I've done so far was A-star algorithm, rendering, map load, how the map's going to work. I've done all the back-end stuff. Now it's time to actually focus on how to make, actually start developing and making this into a real game. So I need a solid plan to set up so I don't, first of all, suffer from scope creep, and I also remember what I'm talking about and can put things onto my task list to know what to do when. Because literally in this plan session, I've come up with like different endings already, like the main gameplay of what should happen. So it's pretty good right now. So
By the way, I propose we call this chicken boning an enemy.
oh yeah, where am I? With the environment. For our case, this would be something like it will respond to when the player. Every time I'm free, I'm gonna try to stream and get work done. So probably, yeah. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate.
Good AI reacts to the player. This can be as simple as guards becoming more frightened as you take out their buddies in the Batman games, or something as complex as Shadow of Mordor. In that game, special orc captains are randomly generated with names, abilities, and relationships, and will then remember their interactions with the hero. If you run away from a battle, for example, the orc might reference this next time they see you.
Aye! Not letting you run his time. Oh, he's gonna finish it.
Puzzle games, where Microsoft tracks the way you play and can create AI doppelgangers to race or fight for you. Really, it can be as simple as something like in Metal Gear Solid 5, where enemies track things like how often you perform headshots, take out bases without being seen, or infiltrate during the dark, and then change to different behavior like wearing helmets, laying traps, or using night vision goggles. These are all things that the AI has been told how to do. It's not actually learning, but it just won't do them until the player hits a certain threshold, and the intended effect is stopping the player from using the same boring strategy for every base in Afghanistan. A similar system is used in Alien Isolation.
Maybe not for future, just thinking. If the monster catches you in a locker and you get away, it will remember that you like to hide in lockers. So once it enters a room to search, it will first begin with lockers. That sounds like a good idea. Imagine you get caught one time in the locker, you go and you hide in a room, but you end up hiding in another locker, and this time it just starts searching the lockers immediately, and you know you're screwed, so you gotta do something to get away. That would be cool. That would actually add a lot of character to the AI. I'm not even gonna lie. Because I don't want the player to die instantly once he gets caught once. I want there to be a 3-strike system, probably. By the monster 3 times before or 2 times before he dies on the 3rd catch. This will allow for the AI to adapt and make the gameplay more interesting. Additionally, once the player gets hurt, we will remove the key card parts and apply debuffs, such as lower move speed and louder audible hazards, decreased vision, stuff like that. No, I have not done AI before ever.
Where the alien unlocks new abilities as the game goes on to make it look like the xenomorph is learning from the player and to keep the game interesting as the hours tick by. Adapting the AI to the player is also used to build a good mood or drive the game's pacing. The most famous implementation of this is certainly the AI Director in Left 4 Dead. This clever system tracks the well-being of each player based on their health and run-ins with the special infected, and if the team is cruising along, the intensity of the zombie horde is increased before the AI Director eases off to give the team a chance to relax. But this tech isn't as new as you might think, and something similar was actually used in Pac-Man. Designer Tora Iwatani said, "I felt like it would be too stressful for Pac-Man to be continually surrounded and hunted down, so I created the monster's invasions to come in waves." So in the game, ghosts swap between chasing the player and just wandering off into the 4 corners of the maze. Good AI has its own goals, beyond kill the player, I mean. This game is Rainworld, by the way, where other animals in the game are hunting for food and will end up in territorial scraps with rivals. Sometimes it's best to just let them get on with it. That's also how Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl works, or is supposed to work. Bandits make plans and then wander about the wasteland alone or in groups to enact those plans, meaning you could come across a raging battle that only occurred because two rival factions happened to accidentally run into one another. The AI is a bit buggy though, and you will need to install mods if you want the AI to be doing stuff outside of your immediate location. But Stalker's A-Life system sure was ambitious, and we certainly need more games like it. Or maybe more games like Waking Mars, a captivating sci-fi indie game about increasing biodiversity.
So how would this apply to my game? Maybe I don't know. Where it could like find theory, find the key card parts and then spread them around the map so it is harder for the player. Maybe something like that. I don't know how that would apply.
Diversity in the belly of the red planet. When you figure out how different plants and animals react to one another, you can forge self-sufficient ecosystems where AI critters can live and breed, even while you're exploring a completely different part of Mars. Finally, good AI isn't just about enemies, and we need better friendlies, because even in games with great combat encounters, the good guys can be as dumb as dirt. To say that we don't want simply better AI. Stupid enemy decisions can pull us straight out of an experience, and players derive little satisfaction from beating an obviously unintelligent opponent. Okay, maybe it is quite satisfying. But developers should always be trying to make further advancements in AI tech and create more nuanced behaviors for enemies. But it's important to remember that AI isn't just a technical problem, it's also a design problem, and every game should approach the subject in a slightly different way. Sure, we do need more games that are about fighting a tactical squad of aggressive enemies, because something's clearly not quite right when most modern shooters are still lagging behind a campy 13-year-old game. But it's important not to lose sight of the real goal. In Uncharted 4, Naughty Dog experimented with complex AI behaviors before settling on enemies who were, according to designer Matthew Gallant, spread out in a layout, looking human and smart, and moving in ways that are mildly predictable, so the player has some ability.
Alright. Okay. So what design pattern will we choose? I'm thinking already, before I even like do anything, I'm already thinking like state machine. That's what I'm thinking. Because we don't need that many states. I think we only need like 3. State machines design pattern for AI. What are you confused about? State pattern. A better way to implement state machines are taught using if or switch statements. Although such implementation is okay for small projects, it leads to spaghetti code in complex projects. Well, if you keep showing up to the live streams, you'll see. Yeah, spread some love. That was a good line. So what does this dude recommend? A state pattern. A better way to implement state machines is a design pattern known as state pattern. The pros and cons of using such a pattern are that your state machine becomes the pros. So state pattern pros, cons. Similar to state machine, but it allows for the ability to add on more flexible, and allows for it to become more flexible and modular. I don't know how to spell modular. Modular. Three main parts: state enter, state execute, and state leave. This will be called over and over again while in a given state. Contains most of the logic. These are functions, by the way. I need to look up what singletons are again, refresh my mind. C++ singletons. And which ensures only one object of its kind exists and provides a single point of access for any other code. Okay. I mean, I don't really care about threading right now, but really care. I just implement it as functions, I would say. So a single class is a class and object oriented. I'm focusing on data oriented programming, so I don't really know if I'll use this, but I might as well look. Make all constructors of the class private. Make the copy of the constructor class. Make a private static pointer that can point to the same class objects. Make a public static pointer that returns the pointer to the same class. So first, we made a constructor single class that can be installed from outside of it. We delete copy constructor so that the copy then is not related. Create a static. Okay. This is stupid. I'm not gonna do that. Implement a state manager. The state manager class is responsible for changing the states and keeping track of previous states. This is shown in the snippet below. Okay. Interesting. Executing running states. Alright. So basically, what's the difference, bro? So a manager which controls which states we switch from and keep functions of current states. So what's the difference between and a state machine? Okay, I'm not looking at that. Okay. Okay. Push the B button and then she should jump. Simple enough. If B, do that. Spot the bug. There's nothing to prevent air jumping. Keep it race. We gotta make sure that you're jumping. Okay, I do that all the time. Okay, I've done that. If input B, no. Spot the bug, the player. Jesus Christ. So this will be called finite. Spell that. There you go. Standing, press down, switch that state. Release down, back to standing. Standing, press B, jump. Press down, dive. So congratulations, you just created a finite state machine. These come out of automata theory, whose family of data structures also includes the famous Turing machine. For example, is like the simplest member of the family. The gist is you have a fixed state of states that the machine can be in. Okay. Oops. example, pressing down while standing transitions to ducking state, pressing down while jumping transitions to diving. If no transition is defined for an input on the current state, the input is ignored. In their pure form, the whole banana states, inputs, and transitions you can draw like a flowchart. Unfortunately, the compiler does not recognize our scribbles, so how will we implement one? Enums and switches. Our problem are... Okay. You're banned. I'm banning you. I'm not answering any more questions from you. You're banned. If you spam emojis in the chat, I'm gonna keep yawning. Alright, we're gonna use a state machine. No, leave me alone. Okay. So I think these three states are what we need for the AI. Do I answer your question? Okay, so two years. Alright, so I think that's good for AI. No. So you're so supportive. So I think this is fine for our thing. Maybe let's do some brainstorming on the art, which we could do later, but so that's like the AI design pattern we choose and what it needs to do. Playing now is fine. I think we really have the idea of what we want to achieve down. We have our monster, what we need. Maybe I could just grab some gameplay loops. This setting doesn't really need to be described right now. We have how map generation will work. We have how the key card should work. You know, when I come home, I should do that. Actually, no, stay with it. Yeah, I should spend 24 hours. Later down the line. You're getting banned. Let's do some planning about how how are we going to prevent it? Well, first, no, I'm still bolded. First, the key card incentive, and second, a monster noise. So when every once and a while, when given specific debuffs, player will make a sound that reveals their location, that puts the AI into search mode, into its search state, to search that area. And if the player doesn't move, he will die. There we go. And also having to find the door incentive. There we go. And we also need another state that's like, I will have a programming channel once I get more of an audience, or a programming Discord server when I get more of an audience. And then maybe like scare, which will trick the player into thinking the monster knows where it is. For example, going this state will be given the player's location, and then the monster will go to that location and search the room, but will not find the player on purpose. So we'll search everything that the player is not in. This will also scare the player, as they will need to make the choice of whether they will need to decide whether or not the monster is in the real search mode or is in the scare mode. What do you mean? The player is the only one that's going to be able to like make sound that actually matters. So like when the player walks around, there's a chance that it'll knock something over if it runs into something. Yeah, so every once in a while, given what's going to happen is the player is going to cough. And then there'll be lore behind that. I have an idea of what this is going to be. And then, so it'll cough, and then what it'll do is once the player coughs, the monster will be sent into searching mode, which then it goes to exactly to where that noise was, and then search it. Also, the player will have footsteps, so if the monster hears it, it will go into searching mode and start searching those footsteps. And then, if it finds them, then it'll go into hunting and then kill them. And then also, if you get hit by the monster, you'll start coughing more. So then you have to keep moving around. You can't hide anymore. And yeah, so basically like that. So this will prevent camping and stuff. And then also there's a scare mode, which means the monster will go in and then like go into the area that the player is in, so the player thinks is gonna find them. And then given stuff, you will. You're getting that message getting deleted. And you're getting banned for saying that. How do I unban it? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you will. So you'll be able to like have bottles in your inventory, and then you can throw them to specific spots, and then the monster will go search them. I have an idea for something like that. Or set like alarm. Set like oh, noise. I spelled noise wrong. So I have an idea where like you can find alarm clocks around the map, and then you could set them in specific locations, and then the monster will go over to there. So the door, key cards, gameplay loop, fighting back, player getting debuffs, getting spawn, the basics of the monster theory state machine that we're gonna need, and it's what it does in its different states. Now we can move on to setting and lore. So the setting doesn't really matter that much, but the lore we will continue to talk about. That's not what I wanted. Oops. Quick, I'm just gonna finish this up. Basic, I think we're gonna be done here in a second. Basic rundown. Trapped in a facility by a government body, basically, or like by a organization, and they put you through the trial, or like trapped in a facility, like due to either being kidnapped or organization, but that wouldn't make sense why they want you to leave. But more likely we will go with like it being a like kind of initiation process for some, I don't know, cult or military force. That would be pretty cool, because that will this will explain why you have a chance of getting out. Monster will be like a man-made test subject. So how will the lore be revealed? Well, through notes that are found throughout the map that the player can read. That's all I think about right now. Like notes from previous survivors or previous victims or something like that. So what else do I need to write down? I think that's everything I wanted to brainstorm today. Maybe like we write down some hiding spots. Oh no. Yes, I'll code the AI tomorrow. The coding will be tomorrow, but I really needed to do this planning because if I didn't do this planning, it's unlikely that this project would have even made it a couple more days. So, I mean, I guess it was good that I spent the last 2 hours planning. Because now I have a clear goal of what I need to follow and do now, so. So what do I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't want to forget anything because I'm so like I'm on like a series right now. Like I'm in a flow. I don't want to. All right, so player hazards, hide lockers, maybe vents too. It's more gameplay though. This is gameplay. Alright. So what is the gameplay loop? We're just gonna run through this. What is the gameplay loop? Bare bones explanation, survive for an amount of time, escape a monster that's chasing you throughout the map, monster having scary AI that tricks players. How will the player beat the game? There's 2 endings that you can do. You can survive the whole night, or you can do ending, or you can get the key card. To get the key card, you have to find 3 individual pieces throughout the map, find the crafting station, then craft it, and then find the door, and then get out. And then I don't want to read that. Also, you have to find the door anyways to escape at 6 a.m. So what is the actual door? Well, the door is just somewhere where the player can exit the map once they get the key card or hit 6 a.m. These are different locations where they can spawn, and yeah. So the player will have to find it. We don't need to go over how it's implemented. How do we minimize spawn key cards in the door without allowing the player? How will we spawn key cards and the door without allowing the player to memorize? Well, we could do, we can just give the map random. We just give the map random spawns on the thing on the text file, and then it will just pick out of those random spawns and it will do it randomly every time. Or we can do wave function collapse. This is really easy to do. Or we can do wave function collapse, which might be a future thing we do, and this will allow for random map generation and also will also obviously randomize how much the key card where everything spawns. But most of the point of this will be randomize the map and allows you to find new hiding spots and switches up the gameplay. So I may actually implement this in the future, but I think right now for basic gameplay we should just do this to see if it works, and then do this in the future. How is the gameplay interesting? Well, the player will have to forever escape the monster chasing throughout the night. The player will not be able to hide in one spot, so it forces the player to move around instead of just hiding and camping. And the monster will basically play tricks on them and make it scary through that. Or at least make it challenging and fun to try to escape, like this fucking thing chasing you. So what is our actual player? Well, we have characteristics, so we're able to like hide and stuff. We have hazards that we gotta avoid that we can get. You're banned for saying that. And also you're supposed to be practicing, so, you know, don't focus on me. You're supposed to be practicing. You're gonna get banned now. Hazards, basically you gotta watch out for stuff as you walk around to not alert the monster. 3 strikes, basically, you get hit by the, you can only get hit by the monster 2 times, and then you'll die on the 3rd one. Yeah, and then once the player gets hit, they remove the key card parts that they hold gets removed, and the monster will put it somewhere, and you will get a lower move speed and louder reactions and decreased vision. There's ways to fight back, and the ways to fight back is to trick the monster through alarm clocks that you can set traps through. You can do glass bottles, which you can throw, and then we really want to focus on good movement. How are we going to prevent camping? Well, the key card incentive, the noise, the monster hearing the noise, having the door incentive too, to have to find the door or whatever. How are we going to make our monster? We don't really need to go over that, but we're going to use a finite state machine, and we're going to give it 4 things to go through: roaming, hunting, searching, and scare. And these will all work together in order to provide a good experience. Roaming will be where it just walks around the map randomly, waiting for cues to alert it. Hunting will be where it actively chases the player to do damage. Searching will be where they hear a noise and they're searching a given area as it suspects the player's there. And scare will be where it's given the exact location of the player, but it'll go in and then purposely search around the player to make it think that it's going to come for them. What is our setting? Well, we're going to be in a facility like a snowy tundra. Basically, the facility, I don't know about it being run down anymore. It's like boarded up, locked in by external force. It's going to be based off like an asylum. So what is the lore? You're going to be like trapped, kidnapped by, you're either going to be like kidnapped by an organization, or you're going to go through like some initiation process. And and the initiation process and stuff like that will explain why you have the chance of getting out, and why you're even there. And then the monster will be like a man-made test subject or something that those people created. And this lore will be revealed through notes that are around the map that the player can go and look and find. And you're banned. You're banned. You're banned. You're banned for spamming. Weebs, you're banned too. But yeah, so that's and Andreas, you're banned too. So let's add this in the cello now. It's okay, I understand, you know, I'm making a good game right now, you know, so I understand. I am very humble. You're banned. You're banned. That message is getting deleted. You know, I'm only 35, so you can't be weird like that. I think that's all we need right now. Okay. That's it. That's it. No, screw you. That message is getting deleted. I don't allow for a self-promotion on my channel. This is serious. What the? Alright, now I'm terrified. I think everyone in the chat right now is getting banned. I can't handle this stress. Alright, Weebs, you're banned. You're banned. No, you gotta get banned. I'm sorry, it's over. No, it's over. I'm sorry. Alright, so basically the stream's done. Tomorrow, Weebus, I won't ban you, okay? I respect you. Face reveal at if you spam emojis for the next 5 minutes straight, I'll do a face reveal right now. So basically, to end the stream, we didn't do any coding today, but we spent the last 2 hours and 15 minutes planning, and we got a good solid foundation for the game, and we know what we need to work on now. Everything's planned out, so we had to take some time out of the day to do that. If I didn't do this, I would not know what to do after I created the A-star. I would just be walking around I wouldn't have a plan. So we got a plan now, and we got a lot of things to work for. We got a solid thing that we know what to do. This will limit scope creep, and we know what we got to do to finish the game. So thanks for everyone that showed up. You guys, oh, that's an IP leak. All right, you are actually banned. You are actually banned. You are actually banned. 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 Y'all saw that? She's banned. Banned. Don't mess with me. Don't play that. IP leaks are a 300-second ban. But, alright, thank you for everyone who showed up, and it's over now. So,